Hello and welcome back to Lord of Heroes here on Nyris Gaming. I'm only just now realizing how utterly cluttered the main menu UI is here. There are a lot of buttons to be pressing right now. But anyways, we are going to be doing some polls for Kartis and Lambda, going to be getting into how much the currency for Lambda costs, and looking into the new relics that are available that were not gone into detail with on the update day, as well as the memory charms. So let us begin with some summon pulls. I thankfully got Dark Rowan quite early, so I've been stockpiling for a bit, as well as all the gifting with the anniversary update and such, so here we go. No. Not even a relic yet. Okay, we've gotten his refined relic now, which is the chance to heal for damage done and increase damage against dark enemies. Nothing there. Nada. Well, phooey. We're only 30 away though, so I'm okay with this. I was stockpiling these as well, so we're gonna do a bit of this. Level 2 refined. Level 2 default for defense and a refined as well. Tier 3 on the refined. So that's up to a 75% chance to heal. And another default. No divines. Unfortunate. But we got a good bit on the refined, so that'll tide us over for now. Now, onward to the new relics and reworked Ricardo, who is now on the Link Summon banner. We also have our entirely new UI for the hero page. On top of the way it normally works, we have the grid function here. We'll pop on over here to Ricardo. You can now access the progression page here, the equipment page here, which has the new memory charms on it, the skills down here, assist partner, a lot more readily accessible out the gate on the first page. The only thing I'm not liking so much, except for this one is not a good example. A lot of the others have a lot of empty space in them. This one fits pretty well. However, given the base chance for his attack reduction went up by 10%, that level is now an extra 10% damage on this. This, of course, now applies to all fire elemental allies instead of just him and the highest attack ally. And of course, the increase in damage on his burst, based on buffs on him, and the fact that he does Hunter's Mark now, with both his 1 and 2. 1 being on counterattack, and 2 being default. His relics, which are now available alongside him in the Link Summon banner, are going to be a default of increasing crit rate. His refined will give him a chance to counterattack upon taking damage, which will aid in him applying Hunter's Mark stacks with his 1. It will also reduce the action gauge of each Earth enemy by a set amount when he does counterattack. That gets up to a maximum of 20% reduction. Divine is going to be a 30% chance to gain an extra turn upon attacking. More than one can't be gained in a row. However, this gets up to a 60% chance at max tier, which is kind of absurd. I would imagine if you're running in full DPS, you buff him a bunch, get all your debuffs on the enemy, run this, and just have him hit as much as possible. I'm kind of curious to see how this would interact with a Zeal set. If they would interact separately, or if they would counteract each other. Next up is Light Mu. She has received a new set of relics as well. Her default is going to increase her defense. Her refined is going to be very similar in effect to Water Cessair's relic and Dark Fram's 2. When she attacks, she's going to have a chance to increase the skill cooldown of the highest attack ally by 2 turns, but also fill their action gauge. The action gauge gets up to 40% increase, and the increased skill cooldown gets to 100%. The Divine has a chance to reduce her skill cooldown when she receives damage by 1 turn, getting up to an 85% chance. This will render her 2, which gets down to a 2-turn cooldown, having the potential to be every turn if she gets hit and that triggers. Not to mention the fact that her 2 now does damage based on her max health, and shields allies based on her max health. Moving on to our completely reworked Water Warrior 9, who is effectively a free-to-play intro to the new warrior system. This one's a weird one because he has his relics now, and I have no idea where to get them. I didn't see them in the obelisk shop, I didn't see them on any of the chances to get on any of the summon banners, so I don't know. Maybe they'll be added on the relic banner that's just permanently up in a future patch. Anyways, his default will increase his crit rate, his refined will be the very same as light Muse, and his divine will give him a chance to counterattack upon receiving damage, and add a chance to inflict 1 stack of Hunter's Mark on all fire enemies for 5 turns upon counterattacking, giving him AoE Hunter's Mark even if he just uses his 1 to counterattack. That Hunter's Mark chance will get to 90%. Here we are at the invite event page. If you would like to input my code, there it is right there on the left. I have already picked up Water Sesher, and I'm probably going to be getting her aptitudes because I want to see just how much her damage scales with her HP. Next, we are going to go down into the link shop via the Summon tab. It appears that you can get 10 link cubes daily. They are 20 link traces each. So we are going to buy all of those for 200 real quick. Then you come to the Fate link directly above that, where we can select either Mu or Lambda and their subsequent relics once we get into that page. I'm going to be going for Lambda because I don't have her. Let us see how much this costs. 10% for 1 link cube. In what way? I'm not entirely sure. Okay, we're working on this data point. We get a little bit of dialogue and some crystals as reward. So I'd imagine it's 10 cubes per, and there are 10 points to do. So 100 cubes will net you the character as far as I can tell. And you can swap between data points. Let us finish this out. 500 crystals for that. You can also select their relics here. There are only 3 data points for those, and it appears you do not get to select a specific one. Data point 1 is Lambda occasionally looks up at the empty night sky. She speaks to it sometimes, but it's hard to understand what she is saying. Lastly, we are going to look at the records page. You come in here, you have Kartis's records. There will be a lot of stages here. 15 for the first chapter, 15 for the second, and another 15 for the third. All totaled, that's another 45 stages to play through, and doing so will get you your memory fragments, which you can form into memory charms, which you can actually see here. It's unclear which class these are each equipped to, but given there's 6 of them, I would imagine there's 1 per class. You can tier these up with more fragments and gold. The default on this one is an extra 5% to attack, health, and defense. Then there is more attack, health, and defense at different tiers. At the higher ones, you start getting crit rate and attack, health, and defense in one. Going through this is going to be a total attack increase of 25%. This next one is identical, except tier 7 is crit damage instead of crit chance. And this third one is speed on that tier. This fourth one does a lot more defensive stuff. And then we have our speed, crit damage, and crit rate on these as well. I will likely be doing videos on the records here in the near future, so I can get into more detail as to who these actually attach to. And I believe that is going to be it for this Lord of Heroes update day. Let me know what you think about all the new features and relics in the comments below. Like if you liked, subscribe for more of the future. Join me on my live streams playing games on Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays, if you're so inclined, at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time each day. And I shall see you in the next one.